Yo, what's good, YouTube? ZAMCRO here, aka Scoop, back with the APA Evolution, and we have Season 1, Week number 7, and we're taking on Jacob and his Green Bay Pikachus. So, if you look on screen, our team hasn't changed, and you can see our opponent's screen down below, or our opponent's team down below, with the Garchomp, Tapu Fini, Mega Kangaskhan, Raikou, Umbreon, Acelgor, Gothitelle, Hitmonlee, Steelix, Drifblim, Caracosta, and the Jumpluff. So, pretty scary squad with Z Garchomp, Z Acelgor. Very, very threatening. Lots of different threats. Of course, a little bit. Well, I mean, his first three mons are unreal, but he gets a lot of merit out of his entire squad. Acelgor with Hazard Stack. He's got Wish Pass with Umbreon. He's got a couple Unburdened mons. He's got Steelix with Stealth Rocks, Garchomp with Stealth Rocks, Caracosta with Stealth Rocks. He's got Spikes and Toxic Spikes with Acelgor, and he's got Trapping Utensils with Gothitelle, so on and so forth. Lots of different options my opponent can bring here. And we've got Zygarde 50%, Mega Diancie, Tangrowth, Crocodile, Slowbro, Miltank, Cobalion, Alola Marowak, Oricorio, and Piloswine, where our Z-move users are Zygarde 50% and Oricorio. And we've decided to bring Zygarde 50%, Mega Diancie, Tangrowth, Slowbro, Cobalion, and the Piloswine this week to face Jacob and his Green Bay Pikachus. For our Zygarde, we have a very, very, very HP and Spadef invested, careful natured, no speed investment, Zygarde 50%. Well, I guess a little bit of speed investment, 16 EVs, with Sub, Coil, Dragon Dance, and 1,000 Arrows. With Mega Diancie, we have a Sub Rock Polish set with Moonblast as our main form of stab and attacking. And our coverage move of choice is going to be the Earth Power, which allows us to blow back the Steelix, which is his only resistance to Moonblast. And we have Rock Polish so that we can potentially outpace things like a Acelgor, Raikou, a Scarf Garchomp, so on and so forth. Allows us to outpace and unburden Hitmonlee and Drifloon as well. So lots of different options there with Mega Diancie, and it can just come in and click Moonblast over and over and over and over again. I am forced to run max speed thanks to, I believe, the Jumpluff, and that's about the only thing that I disagreed with on my build. I could have maybe went modest for this, expecting his Garchomp to only outpace things like my Zygarde, but then again, he could be speed creeping all the way up to Miltank with that bad boy. So I'm okay with my timid nature Mega Diancie here. Next up, we have a Miracle Seed Tangrowth with Swords Dance, Knockoff, Seed Bomb, and Synthesis as our last move. We are max HP, max Spadef with a careful nature, and like I mentioned, we do have recovery, and we do have Swords Dance to break his team, such as breaking things like Umbreon, Raikou, Mega Kangaskhan, Tapu Fini, Garchomp, so on and so forth, with +2 Seed Bombs. Next up, we have Slowbro, our boy Slow King here, with leftovers, max HP, max defense with Scald, Ice Beam, Slack Off, and Magic Coat. Of course, Magic Coat there only to bounce back taunts from things like Tapu Fini, Acelgor, potentially even bounce back Toxic Spikes or any kind of hazard or status. It'd be really nice for us. Scald and Ice Beam is the only coverage I need, with Slack Off being our form of recovery. With our last two Pokemon, we have Cobalion and Piloswine. Cobalion is going to be an Eye Papa Berry variant with max HP, a little bit of speed investment so that I can outpace things like Garchomp, and I've got just a little bit of attack investment with a Jolly Nature. We are a Taunt, Iron Head, Close Combat, and Swords Dance variant, once again. Able to take pretty much any one hit, set up a Swords Dance, and try to break something. With the Papa Berry, we could potentially take two super effective hits, which is really nice. Cobalion is just one of those weird top Pokemon and has a weird speed tier as well. Next up, is going to be Sub-Zero. I think this is our first time using Piloswine, and we're rocking a Eviolite with the thick fat. Basically, our check to the Raikou, Garchomp, anything that wants to get out of hand. We have Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Ice Shard, and Ice Over Crash. Basically the perfect, I mean not perfect, but best case scenario is to keep his dual stab here with this thing being my designated Stealth Rocker in this matchup. So the idea is going to be to catch a few things off guard with my Swords Dancing Pokemon in Tangrowth and Cobalion. Use my defensive core of Zygarde, Tangrowth, Slowbro, and Piloswine to chip, weaken, and break his squad to the point that Mega Diancie can just go ham The idea with Mega Diancie is to get it in versus something like Mega Kang or the Raikou or Umbreon, set up a rock polish, and then start blowing through my opponent's squad. But yeah, it's going to be the prep, and we're going to go ahead and hop into the battle now and see what actually happened here. Alright, so here we are with the replay, and my man Jacob here decides to bring a Selgor and Garchomp. So he's got both potential Z-move users, as well as Tapu Fini, Caracosta, the Mega Kang, and the Raikou. So immediately I noticed that if a Selgor goes down, Tangrowth actually has a pretty decent matchup here. Able to tank hits from pretty much his whole squad and hit back really hard. So, he's got a couple different leads. I'm going to lead off with my Cobalion, just in case he wanted to lead off with a Selgor or Caracosta or anything like that. I could potentially taunt them, or I could just start to get damage on him. So it depends what he leads with. If he leads with the Selgor, I'm just going to try to get damage so that, Mega Diancie doesn't have to worry about, being slower than that thing in the match. So I'm going to lead off with my Cobalion here. I could very well click taunt and prevent the second layer or anything like that, but I just go for the Iron Head, knowing that he's more than likely going to attack on the following turn. I expected to do over half as well, but I did less than half. And he reveals the all-out pummeling, blows me back here. I bring in my Piloswine, and he goes for the Focus Blast. And Piloswine's just way too way too fat. Eats up the Focus Blast and is able to get Stealth Rocks up, as well as land an Icicle Crash, which puts our opponent in range of the Ice Shard. So it's really nice for us, and forces him to bring in something like the Mega Kang to get some chip damage off. I should have went for Fake Out there. I should have went for Ice Shard and got some chip damage myself. But I expected the Fake Out, so it's a little bit unfortunate for me. He does go into his Tapu Fini as I bring in my Slowbro. I named this thing Slowfiend to try to throw people off guard. I'm going to switch out into my Noodle here. As the Misty Terrain is up, the Toxic Spikes will not affect me. So very weird bring versus my squad. First of all, my opponent's bringing Hazard Stack versus a Magic Bounce team, as well as Toxic Spikes in a Misty Terrain based team as well. It's just insane to me. Anyways, I could have went for a Swords Dance there again on the Protect. I am at +2 now. He does get his Wish back, but he should be in range of a 2-hit KO, while I can avoid a 2-hit KO from my opponent, bar a crit. So as you can see there, I get 60% off, and I'm going to Synthesis up here, I believe. Get my health back there and make sure that I don't just drop to something here. And he goes for the Wish there, expecting a second Synthesis potentially. But I just go for the Seed Bomb there, able to knock him out. And he brings in his Garchomp, forces me into my Slowbro, and immediately my opponent goes for the Swords Dance. So that was a fire play. As if I attacked him, I wouldn't have knocked him out, and he would have got a Wish back anyway. So I 100% agree with my play to go into Slowbro here. And as you can see, he doesn't reveal the Z move as the Selgor already did. So this thing's this Slowbro, is able to tank this Garchomp's attacks, put it in range of Mega Diancie 100%, even if it's Roselli Berry, and able to blow it back there. So now we're in an okay position. Tangrowth still looking super dope. However, I would like to force in the Tapu Fini so that I'm not poisoned. Unfortunately, I go for the Earth Power here, which is a terrible play on my part. And I should have went for the Moonblast. Would have did way more, thanks to his Shika Berry. Would have potentially even knocked him out. I'm not sure on the bulk or the couch or anything there. And he's actually able to survive 1,000 arrows, in which I could have went for the Dragon Dance instead there, and I would have been able to outpace this or weaken the Tapu Fini. Unfortunately, I did not do that. I attacked him and he tanked it and was able to get an Ice Beam off on me, put me in range of the Hidden Power Ice as well. And as you can see here, I go for the Swords Dance, and I'm going to try to 1v1 this Raikou here. He goes for the Hidden Power though, and he's going to be able to tank my hit, as well as the poison damage racking up there. So my play was always to Synthesis and, get out of range of a 2-hit KO or anything like that, and get up to +3 attack, and then one-shot the Raikou, survive its hit, and then survive any hit Tapu Fini went for, whilst, being able to knock it out with the Seed Bomb. I don't think even after Protect I would have been in range of poison damage plus the Tapu Fini's attack. So yeah, my play there was to Synthesis up as much as I could, and then it's because I was only one layer of Toxic Spikes, meaning I wasn't badly poisoned, I was just poisoned, and it wasn't, doubling up every turn. or adding 6% every turn, I should say. And I could have won this game. Really unfortunate that we didn't, but it is Pokemon, and sometimes, you know, you can't. It's hard. This is a tough game. You don't know your opponents. First of all, there's over 700 Pokemon. there's got to be well over 100 moves. So 700 Pokemon, 100 different moves, bringing 4 different move slots to each game. Plus, you draft a team of 11, and you don't know which 6 your opponent will bring. You don't know what 4 move slots he'll bring, so on and so forth. I guess you can get an idea if you were to prep for yourself using your opponent's squad, which is what some people do. No disrespect to that whatsoever. I do that sometimes, depending on the matchup and how tough it's going to be for me and my opponent, things like that. But yeah, this was one that I felt like we could definitely have won had we had a few different plays here and there. And I'm almost certain that if this Toxic Spike wasn't up, we would have won just outright. But yeah, it's going to be it. Good game to Jacob. Good luck the rest of the season, my man. And that's going to be it. So let me know what you guys thought about the prep and plays on both sides of the field. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, all the good stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.